Okay, so in our previous lessons, we have learned how to calculate the area of a rectangle, a square, a triangle, a parallelogram. So this lesson is probably going to be the hardest so far. Um, it's asking you to use some problem solving skills and to take all of a couple different lessons and what you learned and put it all together. Um, and what you see is you're being asked to calculate the area of an irregular shape. So I provide one example, but in a lesson like this and on an exam, you could see a thousand different types of irregular shapes. So you could break up anything into multiple different ways. You could break this up multiple different ways. You don't have to break this up the way I break it up. You could see something totally different than the way I'm going to break it up. Um, but the point is, you have to break it up in a way where you can calculate the total area of this irregular shape. So the way I'm choosing to break it up, and I'll show you what I mean by you could break it up in a different way. I'm going to break it up into three rectangles because I think that's probably the easiest way and the most direct way to get our total area. So I'm going to do this is rectangle one, this is rectangle two, this is rectangle three. But when I'm saying you could do it in multiple ways, I mean, this would be more steps. I mean, you could technically draw a line here and do this rectangle. You could draw a line here and do that rectangle. You could draw a line here and do that square. Then you could break this and do this rectangle. So there are multiple ways technically to break up the shape. You don't have to solve it the way I'm solving it. Um, so please do remember that, and especially on your exam, there is no one way to solve an irregular shape, but there is one answer. You would still, even if you solve it a different way than me, you would still come up with the correct area of this total shape. Um, so with that said, when I say utilize your problem solving skills, so remember a dash means that it's equivalent to, it has the same measurement. And just in case, I should follow this, just in case you can't, I did different colors, but I don't know if you can see the colors as well as I can. So let me do it differently for you guys. So we'll keep that the single dash. So that single dash is red. I don't know what you see, but that's red. Double dash is brown. That's my brown. And we'll do blue as a triple dash. So there's many ways something can be symbolized to show you that it equals, you can do it over here too, but it's not necessary. And I'll explain why it's not necessary, but I did it over there for you guys. Um, So if I see a triple dash, I know this triple dash means that the measure of this is equal to the measure of that. Single dash means this single dash is equal to this single dash. Double dash means this double dash is equal to this double dash. Just common symbols we use in math. Okay. The reason why I said these symbols are irrelevant, I don't even need them on there, is we already discussed rectangle. The rectangle, this side and this side is equal to each other, and this side and this side is equal to each other. So this isn't something that's really needed. Um, okay, so now here's your problem solving skills. So I know this is 10. So I know this whole thing is 10, but you don't know what this is yet. So I'm going to go down to here and see if I can figure out what this is. Okay, so when I go down to here, this is 2.5. Okay, and I have a double dash. So that means this is also 2.5. Okay, and I'm looking for what is this? Okay, so the measure of this is 2.5, and the measure of this is 2.5, and the total measure of this is 10. I'm going to do this plus this, and so subtract it from 10, and that will tell me what the measure of this is. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4, 0.5 plus 0.5 is 1, 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so 2.5 plus 2.5 equals 5, right? So 2.5 plus 2.5 equals 5. And then I'm going to say 10 minus 5, and that equals 5. So now I know that the measure of my question mark right here, I know the measure of that. I can erase the question mark because now I know that is 5. Now, this is where I say your problem solving skills. Does that make sense? Yes, because again, this has to be equal to 10 and it's equal to 10. Okay. So if that's 5, then I know this has to be 5. Okay. If this is 2.5, I know that's 2.5, right? I'm just labeling it just because I know. Okay. So let's see if we have enough information to figure out the total area of this irregular shape. And I'm pretty sure we do. Okay. So we have just rectangles here, which means I only need the base and the height of each rectangle to be able to calculate the area of that rectangle. So I told you before, I'm going to call this rectangle 1. So let me just push that down a little. So this is going to be my rectangle 1. Okay. And I'm going to do my base times my height. So I'm going to say rectangle 1. So my base is the line going left to right. We said that's 10. So I'm going to do 10 times my height is up and down. And we said that was equal to 5. Okay, so 10 times 5. And that equals 50. Okay, so that's rectangle 1. I'm using this middle one as rectangle 2. Okay, so the middle one's rectangle 2. Oh, we didn't figure out something. We have to go back. So we said the total from top to bottom is 20. Okay, we know this is 5 and we know this is 5. We have no idea what this is. How are we going to figure that out? So I'm going to do 5 plus 5 is 10. And I got to take that away from 20. So 20 minus 10 is 10. So that means this has to be 10. Okay, so now I can calculate the rectangle 2. Okay, so the base, okay, so the base of this rectangle, okay, so that would be the bottom is 5 times the height is up and down, so that would be 10. 5 times 10 we already know is 50. And that's rectangle 2. So again, I'm going to make this rectangle 3. I'm going to calculate the area of rectangle 3. The base of rectangle 3 is 10. And the height up and down is 5. 10 times 5 is 50. So now what do we do? So I know the area of rectangle 1, rectangle 2, and rectangle 3. So to find the total area of this irregular shape, I have to add all 3 areas up, find the total area. 50 plus 50 is 100. 100 plus 50 is 150. Again, Ms. Fisher says you have to box in or circle your final answer because as you can see, there's a ton of things going on right here. If you don't circle or box in your final answer, it's going to take me a while to figure out what you're saying is the answer. Okay, so always box in your final answer if you're doing it on paper. If you're doing it on computer, there's a submit button that makes you put in what your final answer is, so we don't have to worry about that. So again, this is just one example of an irregular shape. You can see so many different examples. Basically, you just break it apart into different shapes. You find the area of each individual shape, and then you add up the area of each individual shape to get the total area of that irregular shape. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye now.